Today we're focusing on ProQuest databases, and this is the first time we've done this, done a presentation solely on ProQuest. We spend a lot of time covering OneSearch, which is a tool, very helpful tool that searches multiple things at one time, such as Galileo databases, EBSCO databases, and the library catalog all at once. Let me give you guys some reference of what I'm talking about. I'm going to go to the Luther Rice website just so I can make sure everyone can get to the library. If you can get to the Luther Rice website, we're under quick links here, library, it'll take you to the library website. And it's relatively new. It's been around for a few months now, this site. And what we've done is put this one search box here conveniently for you to be able to search those things I just listed, the library catalog, EBSCO databases, Galileo, all that at once. Well, and this does indirectly search ProQuest, but you have to use the full text locator links, or they look like, they say find it. You may have run across those before in your searching. You have to click on those individually to tell whether or not that particular journal article is in ProQuest or not, and it's not very convenient. So I'm going to show you today how to go straight to the source, straight to ProQuest. So you can do that from here under this Find Articles box. You can go straight to ProQuest. It is also under Find. We have this great frequently used databases page for you guys where we have all the most used databases listed out. You're going to find ProQuest near the top under multi-database search engines. When you use the off-campus login here, if you're off-campus, and go ahead and log in with your student email address and password. So ProQuest is, like I said, sometimes it's overlooked because of our focus on the OneSearch tool. But I don't want you guys to miss out on the great resources that are available through ProQuest. It covers multiple subject areas. Most relevant to Luther Rice would be its databases for religion, psychology, sociology, leadership, and all those different topics. It also has a big collection of dissertations. If you're looking for dissertations, you can jump straight in here and begin searching by keyword or title or author if you want to do that. Here's where you would access the news and newspapers. They do have Atlanta Journal. The most current issues do show up here, and you can read them full text, and you can search them by keyword, author, title, things like that. So I thought that's pretty cool. You have Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, LA Times, all kinds of newspapers in there, and the Christian Science Monitor as well. Let's go ahead and do a search. You can choose full text limiter from here, as well as peer reviewed. I'm not going to do this one just yet. And today I'm going to show off, like I said, this database does have tons of resources within religion, subject, sociology, leadership, and things like that. Today I'm choosing to show off our the counseling resources that it contains. So even if it's not a topic that you're particularly into, you will learn how to use ProQuest better. Okay. So as you can see, this search here brings up a ton of resources, but I'm going to show you how to narrow down in your with using these limiters here. And always keep in mind when you're doing searches by keyword, you can always add more context to your search. So I can add the word church, and it's going to automatically bring this down, because what the search engine is doing is looking for every single one of these words within the title, description, or the full text of the articles and the ebooks as well. So the nice thing, you can do search articles and ebooks with the one search tool at the same time, you can also do that with ProQuest. So in this tab, we have our journal articles. Under this tab, we have the ebook results, which I haven't clicked on yet. And I'll show you that in just a moment. All right, so I want to show you guys how to use these limiters here. If you're doing, yes, Paul, you can do exact phrases. He's asking about doing exact phrases. So what we could do is put quotation marks around words that we want to keep together. So, but we don't want to leave out marriage. So maybe marriage and family, but that's going to cut it down. It may cut it down too far. We'll see what happens. And we'll leave on Christian church. So whatever words you want to keep together, just put them with quotation marks and it'll keep them together. Now, once we limit down to, we'll give it a try like this. Once we limit down to scholarly journals, we'd have 67 resources to look at. And that's actually not a bad number. That's reasonable. You could look through them in a reasonable amount of time. But I'm going to go back to my original because I want to show you guys kind of a broadly how to narrow down using the limiters. But that was a great suggestion, Paul, to use quotation marks. All right, so let's go ahead and limit down to peer-reviewed. It's a little bit different than using the one search because you do have to open these little boxes. It can be a little bit annoying, but that limits it down to 2,000 from 17. So we just got rid of the majority of the results there. And then here you can just click scholarly journals to get rid of the trade and magazines if that's what you want to do. Sometimes you may not be looking for scholarly journals. Sometimes you may want magazines, and you can click magazines there. Also, you have date limiters, similar to the other database if you use that, or similar to EBSCO. You can limit, let's do the last, since 2010, published since 2010. Okay, now we're down to 875. And then the reason why I wanted to do a more broad search is so I could show you guys you can limit by journal title. So, and you're not just limited to these. If you click the more options here, it shows you all of down to, there will be more under this, but it shows you the top journals that it's pulling from, and there's quite a bit here. So let's start at the top. And the nice thing about ProQuest is you can choose to include or exclude. You don't need to do both, just choose one or the other. So you can go in and exclude, you know, journals that don't really sound as relevant to what you're doing. Or if you wanted to, you could just go through and just choose one or two or three or whatever by clicking these boxes here. So that's really nice. And that's a great way to limit down to limit your number of results. And I could have gone further than what I did. And it shows you here which ones are marked out. And if you want to bring it back, just click the box here. Also, under document type, you have different types of items showing up here. If you go to more options again, you can choose to exclude. Actually, this time let me do include. We'll do article, feature, and general information. From what I can tell, there is some overlap in these things. As you can tell, we only have 800 and something, and some of them are marked both article and feature. But anyway, let me apply that. And then the other one I want to show you is language. You can limit to English only if you want to. And then you can limit by database. So if you wanted to just limit to the religion database or the psychology database, you could do that from here as well. So those are the limiters. let's go through and see if we can find an article to look at. Now, a lot of times I see students, they do a search like this and they just want to choose the first one that they see, or maybe the shortest one that they see. You can see the page numbers here. That isn't really the best strategy. The best strategy is to take a good look at the titles, as well as the authors and the journal titles. So as you can see, there's a lot of really great journals popping up: Pastoral Psychology, Journal of Psychology and Christianity, Social Work and Christianity. So if you're involved in our counseling program at all, there's some really great resources here for your study and research. If not, then stick with me, and I'm going to teach you how to use these databases. So let's see. Let's just pick this one. You can go to Detail View, and it'll give you a little bit more information about the particular article. A lot of times it will give you the subject headings here. This one doesn't. Now, if you've used EBSCO databases, you know they're really big on the subjects. Actually, no, that's the subjects of the publication. But ProQuest is not as big on subjects as EBSCO is, just if you're familiar with using the subjects, just to give you a heads up. If you want to go to specific journals, you can simply click any of these links will take you to that particular journal if you wanted to browse it. You could browse the issues all the way back to 2006. Or you could search within that publication alone here, which is nice. All right, let's go ahead and go to the PDF full text view. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do here. You can download it as a PDF. You can use the citation tool, or you can email it to yourself. Let's look at this citation tool. You can change it here. It's on Turabian 8, but I think we want this reference list here, and change it and get the citation from there of this source. And you can email the link to yourself. ProQuest doesn't email the actual article. It'll email you a link to come back to the article if you want to. If you want to save your articles within ProQuest, you can click here and do Save to My Research, and you have to create an account with My Research to save, to use that tool. All right, you can also download from here and print from here. Let's get back. I just put in a different search to kind of change the subject a little bit. We're going to jump into, as I said, you find article results in this tab and ebook results here. If you don't see any ebook results, you may have been a little bit too narrow in your search that you put here. So you can click that tab, the ebook tab, to see the ebooks that ProQuest has retrieved using your search terms. Now, again, it's pulling every one of these terms from either the title, the author, the description, or the full text. So within just a matter of seconds, whatever you put here, it's searching for all of those terms in the whole full text of all of these ebooks. So I'm going to open this one. Okay, and this is what it looks like when you open a book in ProQuest. You have your table of contents, which you can jump into any of these parts and look at. You do have some LC subject headings over here, but they're not linked. You can read it online. There's no need to download it in a lot of cases. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, it's loading that whole book for us. You can see it in color here. It's kind of nice. You can search within the book. So if you want to know every place the word crucified or anything appears in the book, just enter it here. It tells you exactly how many times it's in the book, and it shows you comparatively how many times it appears in each chapter. So out of these chapters, it would have appeared the most in this one. Let's click on that. Then it tells you every page your word appears on, how many times it appears on that page, and a little bit of the context. So you can jump to any of these. And what's nice is that ProQuest highlights your terms for you on the page. So that's really nice. You can go page by page from here, or you can just scroll through the book. Let me go back up to the top. Sorry if it's a little jumpy. So you can scroll through and read it like this with your scroll wheel on your mouse. You can use this button down here. You can, bookmarks. In order to do bookmarks, highlights, and notes, you need an account with ProQuest eBrary. And let me go ahead and sign into mine. So I can show you. And this account will also allow you to download the books if you wish to do that. So now what I can do is go ahead and let me jump into the text a little bit more. And see, it's having one of the downsides of viewing it online is it does have to load every page. If you download it, you don't have to do that. It'll download it all at once. But let's go ahead and use the bookmark tool here. And you can use the highlighter if you're reading, you want to highlight something. And if you click, just click on the text. You can change the color of the highlight if you want to. If you click on it, you can add a note there. And whatever you highlight and notate, if you go to the star here, it's going to show you exactly everywhere you've bookmarked, highlighted, even the color that you used. And if you want, you can delete them using this tool. And another cool thing about having an account with ProQuest eBrary is you can add any book you want to your bookshelf with this tool. And then you can go to your bookshelf here, and it shows you the books that you've saved to your bookshelf, as well as where you've notated. And I believe you can go ahead and jump in. And then let's cover the download. So if you want to download the book, you can do it. If you just want one chapter, let's say you want chapter 1, and you do this chapter download. You can say I want the current chapter, and I want it cited in Turabian. It creates a PDF. Now you can only do this with up to a certain amount of pages of each book, and it'll let you know how many you can do of each particular title. So that's a quick way that you can download it without going through all the logging in and stuff. I can open it in a PDF and save it to my computer. If we want to do the full download, it's here. And you just answer if you're using your own computer or a public computer. Click continue. You need Adobe Digital Editions. This is the same program you need to download EBSCO eBooks. So if you don't have it, get it there. And when you're done with that, just click this and download the book. Now, when you install that Adobe Digital Editions, it will go to your desktop. It looks like this. So once you download that book, you'll open this program and read it in there, and it'll be fully downloaded. If you want to, you can go straight to Find Books. This is the library homepage. You can go straight to ProQuest eBooks like this if you just want the eBooks. And it looks a little bit different. It's the same collection. You can browse these different areas if you want to. And there's a little bit of help here, like how-to videos and stuff. Or you can search, let's see. Like Paul brought up earlier, you can search phrases like this to keep the words together. Okay, and there's 270 with that particular phrase in the full text. And it should bring the most relevant ones to the top. They do have these subjects that you can add to your search. Like sometimes they're helpful. So if you wanted to add the subject Christianity to your search, it could narrow it down. Yeah, it did. So now it's searching this phrase in the whole full text, and Christianity as a subject heading applied to the particular title. You can do it that way as well. And your bookshelf is also available here. All right, question. Citing reference for papers, can you copy and paste? Yes. What was the complete name for the app? Oh, Adobe Digital Edition. So let's go back. Actually, we can use one of these. Let's say we want this book here. And see how it says you can copy 27 pages. I believe that's referring to the PDF that you can create. And you can print up to 55 pages of this item. Let's go to the full download here, and it'll tell you. So let's hit this. Oh, and by the way, you can download. You can get like if you want to do it on iOS or Android, you can choose those as well, and it'll lead you through how to get the app, and you can also read the books on mobile devices. But to answer your question, let's go back down. It's Adobe Digital Editions is the name of the reader that you'll need if you want to read on your computer. And you can get it from here, or you can go straight to the Adobe Digital Editions website and get it downloaded that way as well. And yes, you can copy and paste. So let's see if I can find. You go to Read Online. That's when it opens up all these tools. And the citation tool can also be found here for the eBooks. And then you want to choose Chicago Turabian. Let me see. And take it and copy. Highlight it, right click on it, choose copy, or you can just use Control-C. And if you use RefWorks or citation tools, they also have these options there. Does that answer your question, Mike? Are there any other questions? I hope this was helpful to you. I know it's quick to go through. Please, if you ever need help with the library resources, please don't hesitate to call us. Our number is 770-484-1204, extension 5756. If you don't have time to write that down, you can just simply call Luther Rice. You can look it up online. And our extension is 5756, or just ask for the library. That's fine too. On our website, we do have a chat feature where you can chat with us live. Please take advantage of that. You can also email us at any time at library@lutherrice.edu. It's pretty easy. Thank you, Jacqueline. It is actually amazing. There's well over 100,000 ebooks in this collection. So if you're like me and you love bookstores, just going through and browsing, like I showed you guys, you go straight to the collection. Let me do that real quick. Straight to the collection. You can browse the different subject areas. and there's just thousands of resources. And then adding it to your bookshelf is really fun because you create this like virtual bookshelf that is free to you. So that's really great. Okay, if there aren't any other questions, please stick around and I'm going to send you to my survey. Thanks so much for sticking around and thanks for joining me today.